What's going on, YouTube? It's 1 week to Okon, and not only that, it's another week till Brawler's Bash. It's craziness. I got so many games coming in soon. I don't even know what time I'm gonna have to actually go and make videos for them. God, that's a lot of games. Got 3 tag team games at Okon. Got five single games over at Okon. Then I'm not even coming home. I'm going straight to North Carolina for Brawler's Bash, and I'm planning on playing a game against Once Bitten. I'm planning on playing a game against Tunison, Witchify, and Splam Sandwich, and that's a lot of fucking games. Not including the fact that at Brawlers I'm gonna play another 5 games. I'm gonna be making videos for like the next month or so just on these 2 weeks of games. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so Dan comes up with this idea that we should go to Friday Night Dice, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Friday Night Dice. It's over in the southern suburbs of Chicago. So it's run at Joe Kagan's house. Joe Kagan and Rick are the guys who are actually running the Adepticon 9th Age Big Brawl. So these guys have their whole list up on how they want to run Adepticon. They were actually playing some scenarios with us so that way we could get an idea of how it's going to be. And I'm like, fuck it, let's play. So Rick ended up, I believe he didn't play Dan. He was in a game with Brian. And Dan got a game against Jake Murphy. So I got a game against Joe Kagan, and I've never played Joe Kagan before. I met him a couple times. I came to Friday Night Dice before, which is a fun event as is. And so I was just like, fuck it, let's go ahead and do this. So Joe was like, alright, you're going to play against my Empire army, Empire of the Sonnstahl, whatever it's called. And I'm like, let's do it. You got my Orcs and Goblins, buddy. So here we go. Let's show what I got to the table and what Joe has brought out to the table as well. Cable. Alright, over here I got my Forest Goblins, 20 Forest Goblins skirmishers. They have the Mother's Git banner, and they have basically just tomahawks and short bows. They have double taps, which basically allows them to throw 2 tomahawks at once, and holy shit, it's snowing like crazy right now in Chicago. Oh, it just started. Anyways, over here I got my Goblin Raiders. I got 5 Goblin Raiders. My Wolf Pack. Over here I have 2 of my characters. You can see that is on the left, that is Kabuto the Python. He is a level 2 Orc Shaman with Wilderness, and then he has, I believe, the Ruby Ring of Ruin, or I'm sorry, the Red Ring of Fire or some shit. And he also has a book to give him an extra spell. And then I have my level 2 of Shadow on the right. Basically, I've been using them as a combo like this, so that way one could take out War Machines and the other one can lower the initiative in close combat. Over here I have my 12 orcs with crossbows. These guys, unfortunately, I've been using them with crossbows and shields, and Joe brought it to my attention, broke my spirits though, saying that I can't take the shields because if you read the rule specifically, it says they drop all their other equipment to take heavy armor and crossbows. So that was just like, that sucks. So no shields, but yeah, these guys are pretty decent for what they do. 12 shots, 30-inch range, kind of gives me some pepper spray from far, and most of them are painted in this picture. Actually, I'm kind of surprised about that myself. Over here I got my Orc Horde. I have 32. I think I dropped a couple for the Ruby Ring. So I got 32 Orc Ed Bashers. They have extra hand weapons. They have the BSB. The BSB is Bebop. He's on the right there with the giant red banner. Red and yellow banner, and he is has the Ironhide banner, which is giving my whole unit a 5 up board against shooting. Over here I have Baron Longshot, the Chariot Killer, and unfortunately my Empire enemy has no chariots, so he has to find a new target. Over here I have King Koopa. King Koopa is coming out with his 1-up armor save. He's basically taking Chicken Head's spot. The only difference is that where Chicken Head got a 2-up armor, King Koopa's getting a 1-up armor. I do lose the Scout, I do lose the Fast Cav rules, and I do lose the Vanguard, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, 1-up armor is pretty nice. Over here I have my 2 Git launchers. I have my chief, my war boss, Dread Irontooth, and his trusty Nidhogg Wyvern. These guys are just beasts, both of them. Over here I have a unit of it's a Nasher herd, 29 of them. I believe I get it up to 30 for the list I got for Okon. I shifted some points around and I got them to a full 30, and I dropped a couple orcs, but whatever. Over here I have my A-Rock, my Gargantula, my trusty million named spider, and yeah, the Howdah crew, which is just as good, to be honest. And that's it. I know you can see the giant and the chariot and the dragon rammer in the background, but I didn't use them. I just brought them out to show them off. All right, for Joe, he ended up bringing, as you can see right here, he has a unit of handgunners. I think they're called handgunners. I got the list right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and start looking up what these guys are called, because I don't know. I have no fucking clue. There's light infantry, heavy infantry, state militia, electoral cavalry. I have no idea what the hell they are at all. All right. Anyways, you can see on the second guy to the left, it's a hobbit. That hobbit has a huge sniper rifle, and that guy's actually their champ. The champ actually has a longer range and a better ballistic skill than the whole unit, which is pretty cool. I think it's a cool model to have in that unit. Over here, he has a unit of 1-up armored knights. These guys, I'm going to try to look. These are the core ones. Not heavy infantry, electoral cavalry, I guess. Yeah, I think it is electoral cavalry. Or is it imperial cavalry? I don't know. But anyways, these guys are basically, they have 1-up armor and maybe 2-up armor. I don't remember. But basically, they're the core unit. Over here in the background, you can see these are all his characters. And he has the guy on the bottom left, that witch hunter dude. That's actually one of his engineers. He sits in the unit with the handgunners. The guy in the middle is his level 2. Or level 1, I think, and all he's taking is wilderness for +1 strength, +1 toughness, and he's going to be in that unit of the electoral cavalry that I just showed you. The guy on the right on the horse with the Roman style helmet, that guy is another engineer, and he's going to be sitting with the war machines to boost the ballistic skill there. The guy, you can barely see him in this picture, but he's right in between that engineer and the guy in the back. He's right in the middle on the floor. He has a little altar thing that he has opened up. That is his BSB. He's going to be in a unit of halberdiers. And then in the back left on the Pegasus, that's just a Pegasus hero. He's going to be flying around. He has a ruby ring. He has some other goodies. He has a 1-up armor, I believe. The guy on the right back, that is his general, and I don't have a better picture of his general till later in the game. Over here, that giant unit right there with all the V's on their shields, that's his massive unit of what the hell are they called? They're like inner circle knights or something like that, or they were. But basically, these guys are all heavy armored. They're hitting on strength 5 or 6 or some shit like that. But they're pretty good cavalry unit, honestly. They're immune to psychology, which is fun. Back here, yeah, there we go. Back here, we got his he has a unit of not even skirmishers, they're just archers. And then the back with those feathered things, those are rioters. The rioters are guys with pistols or repeater pistols, and they're fast cav with guns basically. And then in the far back you can see there's a whole unit of militia with swords, shields, and light armor. And then over here, you can see over here, this is his unit with halberds. That's where his BSB is going to be. Right behind them, he has another unit of sword and shield guys. And then behind them, he has skirmishers with some double hand weapons. And in the far back corner, you can see he has 2 war machines. One is a cannon and one is an organ gun. Now, I just had this big discussion on the 9th Age forum about taking your general on a wyvern. Seeing that my opponent, which is an Empire player, has a cannon and a organ gun, automatically before deployment I'm thinking I gotta keep my general alive, but I still have to use my general, okay? Because I'm not that kind of player where I'm just going to go ahead and be like, oh, he has organ guns, let me hide and just stay away from the whole thing and not use a 400 point general. No, I'm going to use my 400 point general. For my magic phase, I got Shadow Miasma and Devouring Darkness, which I thought was really good because Devouring Darkness, these are human Empire, so the humans don't really got much initiative. Maybe like initiative 3, maximum 4, but I could still get a good chunk of them with the Devouring Darkness. Over here I got the Redwood Shaft, the Inner Rage, and the Beast Within. As for our deployment, we got the Diagonal going on right here, and we have a couple special rules where you roll the dice, and basically whatever you roll on the dice, you will get a special ability for one core unit. So I rolled the dice, and I ended up getting a Scout special roll for one of my core units, and I give it to my Forest Goblins, the Bushwhackers. That way they could pop out in the trees, they could do their own thing. Other things on that list were like Swift Stride and Regen, stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. As you can see, this is kind of the diagonals we were going in, and I decide to drop majority of my army on this back left corner. He put one of his cannons on the hill behind the building, so my general is fine chilling on the hill because he's totally blocked by the building from his cannon. So more or less, there's two sides. There's a side on the left side of the building, and there's a side on the right side of the building. Majority of the heavy infantry units are on the left side of the building. The Bushwhackers aren't where they are right now, and neither is Longshot. Longshot is technically on a Scuddler Spider, so he can scout as well. And so I started putting out my army as so the A-Rock is actually one of the characters I thought I placed wrong in this setup. I should have put him on the right flank and just had him go for the flank by himself, because he's fine. The left flank was kind of like out of the way. He really couldn't shoot his web launcher except at a couple guys, whatever, right? And as you can see, he started putting his halberdiers and his swordmen on the left side as well. My left, his right, of the building, which left the right side pretty empty. So we're going to go onto the right side really quick, and all I did was I put out King Koopa by himself out here. Like, he can handle some skirmishers and some fast cav, that ain't no problem. He saw that, he put his cannon on the hill, like I said. He has his engineer there. He has a couple knights on that side as well. So he's figuring, he got Koopa easily. He also put, at the end, he put, you can't see it in this picture, his Pegasus guy right there. And we're going to go ahead and do Vanguards. He goes ahead and Vanguards up his Rioters over on this side. I Vanguard up my Wolf Riders on the opposite side. And we're going to go into turn 1 Orcs and Goblins. And I actually, about halfway through deployment, I decided to drop everything else because at a certain point, I already know what he's putting where, and at the same certain point, I'm pretty sure he does. He knows what I'm putting where as well. Because you really want to match up what you want to go for. You want to kill. You want the proper matchups. You know, you don't ever want to be outpowered, or basically put like something that's really killy against something that's really going to take forever to kill. You want to destroy units fast, and you want to get the stronger units against the stronger enemies sometimes the stronger units into the weaker enemies, whatever. So as you can see, I moved up the Wolf Riders. They're on the right side. They popped up, they Vanguard, they moved up right behind the building. Their target right now is that War Machine. He has the organ gun right on the line. If I move up, that organ gun only shoots 24 inches for the Empire one. So I have literally 25 inches between the organ gun and my orcs and my squigs. They're going to sit back. I don't want to get blasted. I go ahead and I scouted the Forest Goblins into that forest up there, and they're going to go ahead and move up just a little bit. They're 18 inches away from his swordmen, so I can shoot my short bows at them and hopefully kill some. My whole goal right now is to kill chunks of infantry and just weaken up his forces. Over on the right side here, I moved Koopa right in front of the Rioters. I'm like, fuck it. Koopa is not afraid. If he moves the Riders, fine. I'm just going to keep going towards the cannon. Koopa's just going for the cannon. And then I move up Longshot to the right side, and I figure his cannon's probably going to try to go for my A-Rock or my General or something else. He's not too worried about Koopa and Longshot. If somebody wastes a cannon shot on either one of those characters, Koopa will potentially regen it. Longshot will probably die, in all honesty. But it's points saved on my General and my A-Rock. So I go ahead and move up Longshot this way. He's out of charge arc of everybody. He's going to be able to shoot. Magic phase. I got 4 power dice, which is garbage. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice into Shadow Miasma onto this giant unit here, and I slow him down because I want another turn of shooting him before he gets closer. Over here, long shot shoots, and he's shooting at the cannon, and he freaking misses everything. Son of a bitch. Over here, my Wolf Raiders are going to go ahead and shoot at his infantry over here, and they kill off one dude. I just find that funny. And then over here, my Force Goblins is going to shoot at the infantry, and they kill off 3 of them. Oh, man. The A-Rock's going to shoot his web launcher. First turn, I'm going to aim for this giant block here, or even slow down their movement even more. And I go ahead and I shoot it right there, and I misfire, and I destroy the freaking web launcher. I put a wound here because at first I thought I rolled the one where I take a wound, but I realized I rolled it where I lose the web launcher entirely. I go ahead and I shoot the Git launcher, and it misfires, and it can't shoot for a turn. And I shoot the other Git launcher. I change the dice, and it doesn't misfire, hits the guys, kills off 2 of his knights here. My Git launcher's whole goal right now is to wipe out just one of the knight units. There's 2. And I just started picking on this one because this one was actually easier to see. The other one we're hiding behind the building. It's going to go ahead and start off Empire of the Sonnstahl, turn 2. I think it's Sonnstahl. Let's see what the hell. I'm gonna Sonnstahl, yeah. Turn 2. Over on this side, he doesn't charge Koopa. He sits there. He's going to shoot me and shit. But he moves his Pegasus Knight this way, and he does this to avoid both my characters, and he's just going to go straight for my war machines. He doesn't like those Git launchers, and I don't blame him. If I had a flying character, I would just fly for the war machines and get rid of them. But he moves his guys downhill, and they're basically setting up a screen for Koopa not to get into the cannon. Over here, he really couldn't move much with the halberdier, so he does like that, and he's moving up the swordman at my Forest Goblins. Magic Phase, he got 6 power dice, and he throws a couple dice onto the beast within and gets double 6s. I just let it go through because it's not going to make a big difference to me. He takes a 6 on the miscast chart, which blows a hole open right here into his knights. But his knights have like a 1-up armor. They're fine. They don't take a casualty at all except for 1 wound onto his wizard. Over here, shooting phase, he's going to shoot the rioters at Koopa, and Koopa armor saves everything. Oh, he failed 1 armor save. So he took 5 shots, or 5 wounds, and only saved 4. Over here, these guys over here, they're going to go ahead and shoot their handguns at my Wolf Riders, and they end up killing off 3 of the Wolf Riders, but they don't panic. They pass on their leadership, which is great. This guy right here is going to start shooting at my Forest Goblins. He gets 22 shots. 22 shots. He only kills off, if I could get the picture going, 2 Forest Goblins. 2 only on the Forest Goblins are dead, and that's nothing. And I think he was just like, holy shit, out of 22 shots, that's a lot of fucking shots. But they're in the forest, they're skirmishers, it's hard to hit, and he wasted all those shots on the Force Cops. They're fine. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I'm doing the long charge here. I'm charging the Wolf Raiders into that organ gun. I need to get, even if it's just for 1 turn, it gives me an opportunity to move my units closer. If the Wolf Riders take them out, great. If they don't, at least they hold him up for his shooting phase. Over here, charging Koopa into the rioters, and they're going to do a brace for impact or whatever it's called, and they basically shoot all their guns strength 5, initiative 10 when I charge in, and he's going to go ahead and do that, and I go in. Over here, the Wolf Raiders got in, and then long shots like, you know what, this guy's going for my war machines, let's just handle him. We'll just leave the cannon alone for a turn. The cannon really can't shoot anybody because the building's in the way. So I go ahead and I move long shot right here. He has a shotgun to the back of this guy's head, and he needs to take care of him. Over here, the A-Rock moves into the forest to give that cannon a -1 to hit me, even though it's getting a +1 to hit me for the, for the large target. I move the Forest Goblins exactly 11 inches away, just so that way the back row could shoot at those swordmen, and Or I'm sorry, yeah, they can shoot him with the tomahawks, and it's still a decent charge for him. And I just start moving everybody out. I don't care. I move Dread off the hill. He's going for the units. And everybody just kind of moves up because the organ gun's kind of taken care of at the moment. Magic Phase got 9 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto the Redwood Shaft. And I throw it right into his unit of swordmen that are right in front of me. And I only kill off 2 guys. I go ahead and I throw up a shit ton of dice onto the Beast Within. He actually stops me on that one, which is really what I was trying to get off so I could get some good tomahawk action. And then I go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma, and I throw like 1 dice on it, and I just fail miserably. Over here, I'm going to start off shooting phase, and I shoot 4 shots. I get 1 poison shot off, hits the Pegasus Knight, and he has a fucking lucky shield. Bastard! He's going to escape me, and he's going to keep going towards my war machines. Oh, man, that sucks. Over here, shooting phase, these guys are going to start shooting the double tapping tomahawks. I got long range and double tap, so I need 6s. I go ahead and I shoot them at these guys. I only kill off 2 more guys, but I've been weakening this unit. I've been picking and picking and picking at them. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Arachnorocks Howdah crew at them. They're going to just shoot their short bows, and they kill off 1 more dude. And then these guys with the crossbows are going to go ahead and shoot, and they end up killing off 2 more guys. Holy shit! We're shooting that unit apart. Over here, the Gate Launcher is still focusing on his target, hits the unit, and gets a misfire. God damn it! Stupid misfire. I need a fucking new dice. If somebody wants to send me a new dice that is not cursed, I would be glad to take it. Please help me out here. What is wrong with both my dice? And I was exchanging the dice trying to figure out which one's cursed more, and they're both rolling the misfire over and over. This is just bullshit. Over here, Koopa causes fear. They're hitting him on 5s. So he goes ahead and does the brace for impact. He fails to wound me. Actually, I think he wounded me a couple times, but I still armor saved it and regen saved it. And Koopa goes back and kills 4 of the rioters. The last guy's alive, and he's going to run. And Koopa chases, but he gets away. He gets away by like 2 inches, and Koopa's right there. As you can see, Koopa has the hill to himself. Everybody on the left side's looking the wrong way. He has a bunch of archers, which are garbage to Koopa, and some skirmishers who are not even close to Koopa, or looking at Koopa the right way. And Koopa's just going to take over that hill soon. As you can see, this is how the table looks. And we're going to go into turn 2, Empire of the Sonnstahl. He's charging his whole cavalry unit into my Wolf Raiders. My Wolf Raiders failed to wound that thing, or they wounded him once. I got a charge and a wound. He stuck there because his general's in close enough proximity and his PSP's in close enough proximity. He stuck there, and the Wolf Raiders are about to take ass whooping very soon. And these guys charge over here. It's an 11-inch charge. I stand and shoot. Okay? I'm throwing double tomahawks again. Actually, I don't even think I do double tomahawks. Maybe I do. It's long range, stand and shoot, and I couldn't do double tomahawks. I just did single tomahawks or short bow, stand and shoot, whatever. Either way, I go ahead and I do it, and check that out. I kill 6 guys. 6. Oh shit! He's like, "Are you kidding me?" It caused him to panic. He panics. He flees. Alright, and they're going to run off the table. I'm like, hell yeah, it took care of the unit. And when he flees, he accidentally knocked over his banner right there. And when he knocks over the banner, you see this look on his face, stare at the banner, and have this moment of realization saying, wait, I have the Gleaming Pendant. So I didn't fail. And he re-rolls it or something like that. I think it's the Gleaming Pendant that gives him the opportunity to re-roll the failed leadership check. He re-rolls it, and he gets it. He rolls for the charge again because he needed a 11 originally, and he gets in, and they get in right there. Bam! I'm like, God damn it, I almost took out that whole unit. That sucks. But he gets in. My guys have to crunch in, and that's going to happen. Over here, his Pegasus Knight just moves up. It was too far of a charge for his Pegasus Knight to get from over the fields into the squigs. It was like a 21 or 22 inch charge, and he was just like, no, it's not worth it. So he goes ahead and moves over here. He tries to get out of charge arc General Dread, and which he's fine there. Magic Phase, he got 6 power dice, and he's gonna go ahead and do the Beast Within over here onto his unit of knights. I'm not gonna bother trying. I mean, it's his only spell. I think I tried to stop him, but I couldn't. It didn't really matter. Shooting phase. These guys are all gonna shoot at Koopa. They do 2 wounds. He armor saves 2. He's gonna go ahead and shoot the cannon at the A-Rock, and he gets a lucky hit in, even though he's in the forest, and he gets 2 wounds. He rolled a 1 on the wounds, and he only got 2 wounds onto the A-Rock, or it might have been 3. Might have been 3 wounds. Over here, close combat, he ends up killing off. Whoo, shit! He ends up killing off 7 of my forest goblins. Forest goblins go back. They're like, fuck you guys! Bam! Kill 3 of his. And I am stubborn in the forest. And I stick there for a round. And these guys need some backup really fast, or they're going to die. I mean, I could probably stick for another round or 2 and then let the A-Rock finish them. But it's getting kind of close. Over here, my Wolf Riders kill 1 more of the crew. He goes ahead and attacks with his knights, and he just destroys my Wolf Riders. And this is getting close. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins, turn 3. Koopa! Koopa is charging into those skirmishers on top of the hill. Now, to be honest, you could see it, I could see it. Koopa could technically hit the cannon, but he was like, no, his intention was that he was putting the skirmishers to make a screen. And I'm like, I got it. I'm not going to be a dick. I'm not a dick like that. So I'm going to go for the guys on top of the hill. His other guy's probably going to run off the table because he needs he's less than 25%, so he needs like a leadership 4 or something like that. So I'm like, fuck that one guy. He could just run off the table. Charge the archers. Charge the squigs and dread into his main bunker here. And I'm hoping that Dread's calling out the Wog, so everybody's getting Swift Stride right now. The Squigs get Swift Stride anyways. And I'm charging the Orcs on the left to back up my Gobos. The Goblins are just too wide for the A-Rock to fit, and they're too in the way of the A-Rock. So the A-Rock can't make real charge into those guys. So I'm figuring the Orcs can back up my Goblins. It'll save that unit of Goblins. I won't lose the whole unit. And the Squigs and Dread should be able to just knock out that unit of Halberdiers. And basically this is how it looks. Dread fails the charge. God damn it, Dread. A-Rock moves over this way, trying to fill in that gap of the hole right there. I'm thinking, Dread's fine. The Squigs won't mess this up. They're going to eat a good chunk of those guys. Probably stick a round or 2 in combat. We'll see how it goes. Magic Phase got 11 power dice. Holy fucking hell. 11 power dice. I go in and I throw up Frenzy on this guy with like 2 dice. And he's just like, sure. And I'm like, well, I mean, if I give my Orcs Frenzy, my Orcs are going to overrun and run the wrong way. If I give the Goblins Frenzy, at least they'll potentially get more attacks in and do whatever. It was just a whatever spell. And my Shaman was too far away to give the Squigs Frenzy. I would love to have given the Squigs Frenzy, but I couldn't. And then I go in and I throw up a bunch of dice onto the Beast Within and Shadow Miasma. Look at that. I threw 9 dice at him. 9! And he stops both of them. One with the Dispel Scroll and one with a bunch of his dice. That sucks. Actually, I don't even think he used the Dispel Scroll. I think I threw out all the dice on the Beast Within. He threw all his dice down. And then I tried through a big spell of Shadow Miasma. Look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I failed the big spell with an 8 on a 9. With 4 dice! 4 dice! If I average 2 on every dice, I would have had it. But I didn't. What the flying fuck, man? Oh, that sucks. It's okay, though, because guess what? It's Shooting Phase, and Shooting Phase Longshot's gun is warmed up. He has his elephant gun shooting at that freaking Pegasus Knight who's going for my Git Launcher, shoots him, and BAM! Gets 4 shots off. 3 of them are poisons. 3, and the other one wounds, and he's like, alright, -2 armor, his 1-up armor save, and 3 of them go through, and he took out the Pegasus Knight. Blasted that motherfucker off of his Pegasus. He's the dead Knight. Longshot just blew the barrel of his gun and was just like, I did my job. Oh, that's awesome. Over here, the Git Launcher is aiming. I think I was still aiming at the other guy, but he drifted off, came this way, hit this unit, and kills off one of his knights here. Koopa just destroying fucking skirmishers like it's nothing. Oh my god, and they fail to wound Koopa, and they're going to run, and I believe Koopa overruns with them. Yeah, he overruns this way. He's just like, I don't know, whatever. And he kills off the whole unit. He really doesn't care if the cannon shoots him at the moment. It causes a panic check, and it makes his engineer run away. Koopa is a one-man army on this side of the board. He has, look at that. He took out those archers. He has that unit of rioters running away. He has his engineer running away. That cannon can shoot him all he wants right now. It's fine. It's totally fine. Over here, he has his character, which is his BSB attack. And I think the BSB kills maybe one or two. I don't remember how this happens. I don't know why I don't have pictures. Maybe it was just very intense battle. I don't know. But I go in and I throw all my Nashers at him. And like I'm throwing a shit ton of dice from Nashers, right? And look at this. Look at all those ones. I think that was just to wound. Because I think those were all the attacks that hit. And then the ones are the ones that missed the wound. And I only need 2s to wound. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 misses. 9 misses on the wounds. Holy shit, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 wounds I did. He goes ahead and hits me back, and he gets just as many wounds. And he has BSB, and he has ranks, and a banner. I actually lose combat. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Those Nashers had a shit ton of attacks. He did do something called like brace for impact or something like that, or whatever, hold your ground, or whatever the rule is. So he's getting to fight in extra ranks or something like that. I forgot how it works specifically. Like ready to line or something. So he goes ahead and he does it, and he wins combat. My Nashers blow up, and I'm like, oh shit, that is not good. Because they blow up, of course they're going to take probably like 1 or 2 guys more with them, right? But because they blow up, and my general failed his charge, my general's a sitting duck. I'm like, holy shit, this is bad news. He's going to charge me. He's going to have ranks. He's going to have a banner, a BSB. And if he gets any wounds off, I'm a sitting duck. And he has a lot of attacks coming at me in my turn. Oh, shit, this sucks. Over here, the orcs start killing off the unit. Now, we had a big discussion about this one. The orcs should be technically touching his guys. And then just say on the right side where the orcs are touching, there should be 2 guys there. But because the orcs attack first, they're initiative 3. Everybody else is initiative, or his guys are initiative 3, the goblins are initiative 2. He started pulling off bodies on both sides, because that's what it says it does. And then when he did, he started pulling off bodies off where the orcs are, and saying the orcs are no longer in contact with him, because he had to pull the bodies off on both sides. I said, that is not exactly how it works. He should be pulling off bodies from my left side until the last ones are touching both the orcs and the goblins. He's like, no, you pull off on both sides. So if anybody want to clarify that, that would be great. But under my impression, he's supposed to stay in contact with the orcs until the end of the battle. He's saying he didn't. There was no more bodies to pick because the goblins are still he still has to pull off left and right from the goblins. Goblins get attacked back, and they lose 3 goblins, and I just took off these 2 banner guys because they kept falling over. I don't have magnets for them yet. And then the goblins go and they kill off a bunch more. He has 3 guys left. I have a banner, rank, BSB, side charge, all that crap going on. So many wounds. He fails miserably. I mean, miserably fails. And they're going to run. And I decided not to run the orcs after him. I have to charge with the frenzy guys. So the frenzy goblins are going to chase him. They chase him off the table. The orcs stay. They turn around facing his units over there. And it's going to start off his turn. Empire of the Sonnstahl. Turn 3. Here it comes. He's charging here. I can't do a goddamn thing about it because I am a black orc. I don't care. So I can't flee. He's going to charge me, and he will get in like so. Boom! Okay. My squigs did attack his BSB, by the way, and they got 1 wound off on his BSB. Magic Phase, he got 5 power dice. He did no other charges. And most of his guys are shooting. He goes ahead and he tries to throw a +1 strength, +1 toughness on these guys. I believe I dispelled it. Yep, I did with my dispel scroll. I didn't even want to play around with that. You don't kill my general that easy. His handgunners are going to start off shooting phase, and they shoot at my orcs, and all of a sudden he did like 3 or 4 wounds, and all of a sudden he found out what the Ironhide banner does. It's a 5-0 board, and it only killed off 1 guy, and he's like, son of a bitch. And he goes in and he shoots the organ gun. He's like, well, oh well, the organ gun's still going to go in and shoot and tear a hole through these guys, and he does, and he ends up doing like 10 wounds or 11 wounds, and out of the 11 wounds, I ward saved a bunch of them, and I only lost 5 or 6 guys. His face is like, son of a bitch, that banner sucks, man. Over here, I decided to challenge. He accepts with his BSB, and I just crush his BSB. I do like the maximum overkill, 1 wound plus 3 more wounds or whatever, and I lose combat by 1. He got a charge of 2 ranks, a banner, that's a 4. Is that right? Yeah. I believe I still lost combat by 1. I lost combat by 1. I think I only did the 1 wound. I didn't get the max overkill. And that means I have to roll a leadership check of 8. I pass it. Whoo! That one had me scared. I was like, shit, if I lose my general now over this unit, it's going to be SOL. But that was it for his turn. He really didn't have much shooting. I think he tried to shoot the cannon, didn't do shit. Oh no, the cannon, they're cowering behind the cannon right now too. Everybody failed that side because of King Koopa. And that was about it. We're going to go into Orcs and Goblins turn 4, and this is where it just all comes together right here. Koopa is charging the rear of that sword unit right there that's chilling in the back, that bunker. And the Arok's like, common dread! And Arok is going to charge into the halberdiers here. And the Orcs, I believe, just can't charge shit. The Goblins come back on the table and they're walking towards the forest to try to save face. They only have like 5 Goblins left, so they really can't do much. They're going to chill back. As you can see, he has both Knights units kind of charging up for whoever they're going for. We're counting those rocks in the middle as passable terrain, but dangerous terrain. So I'm sitting back there like, if these Knights are coming for my Orcs, they got to go through some dangerous terrains. I'm just going to use that to my advantage. Not only that, but it's causing me to have some cover bonus against that organ gun. And I moved my Orcs on the hill to turn facing this way. I forgot why specifically, but I did. Magic Phase got 5 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto Shadow Miasma, and I lower that unit of handgunners up there, their ballistic skill. And the reason I do this is because I don't want the engineer boosting his organ gun to have a higher ballistic skill as well. It goes off, he has a lower ballistic skill. He goes ahead and I throw up another spell, and he dispels it with his Dispel Scroll. Actually, I think he might have dispelled that Shadow Miasma. I think he dispelled that Shadow Miasma with so he uses the Dispel Scroll. Go into shooting phase. Long Shot over here is going to start shooting at his cannon, and they kills off one of the crewmen of the cannon. And then both Git launchers are good to go. They both shoot at this unit here, and they kill off 3 of his knights. This is the more expensive unit of knights too, because it has his general in there. So kill off 3 of his knights with one of the Git launchers. The other Git launcher fucking misfires again. How many fucking misfires can one dice roll? Seriously. Holy crap. Alright. Koopa kills off 3 of these guys here. They fail to wound Koopa. His BSB is not... his BSB is dead. He is steadfast on his general's leadership, and he failed! He rolled like 11! Koopa runs the unit down, and he overruns right into this unit of cavalry over here. What the fuck, Koopa? You're a fucking beast right now. And he's just like, just eating whoever the hell he wants to eat right now. Oh, man. Over here, the A-Rock. Oh, wait. You can kind of see the dead bodies on the top over there. That's like, the A-Rock killed a shit ton of guys. The Howder crew killed off a couple guys. Dread goes, and Dread kills off a couple guys. And, yeah, they're just hungry. I'm not even gonna count the bodies right now. You could see it just adding up. Thunderstop kills off a bunch of guys. Holy shit! They were freaking nuts. This tag team, Koopa, Dread and A-Rock were just like, oh man, they're having a field day. He didn't get a wound off on me. Dread and A-Rock just ate the whole unit. Overran, kills him. He's gonna flee in panic. Holy crap, look at that. They didn't get a wound off on A-Rock or Dread, and they both overrun, and they just wipe out the whole unit. And he's just like, you can see the moment of demoralization in Joe's face. But it is going to start off the Empire's turn 4, and he's going to charge here into the A-Rock, and there's not much I can do about that. He's going to get in. It's an easy in. Magic Phase, he got 5 power dice, and he throws all the dice onto the beast within, and he gets it off and gives these guys +1 strength, +1 toughness. Okay, shooting phase. These guys are going to shoot at my orcs to kill off 2 more. Here, the organ gun shoots at the orcs, and he shot, I am not kidding, he shot 9 wounds. I throw my dice and check out that ward save. All 9 ward saved. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. Holy crap. Shoots the cannon at Longshot, because Longshot's pissing him off. And he can't hit Longshot in the forest in long range. And oh no, he does hit him. He does hit him. He rolls to wound and he gets a 1. Oh shit! I thought Longshot was dead on that one. Oh man. And then over here, his general goes, and his general has like strength 6 or strength 7, hits a shit ton of attacks, and wounds the A-Rock 3 wounds. The A-Rock has 2 wounds remaining. He goes with his crew, does 1 more wound. I go attack back. I fail to wound a single one of them. And what ends up happening next is I'm like, all right, I get to re-roll on my leadership a stubborn 9. And I don't have the BSB's too far. The BSB's all the way up there. I roll, and I fail. I roll a 10. And I go ahead and I have to flee. He chases, and he eats my A-Rock. Man. That's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 5. And Joe concedes. He's like, it's over. He goes, Koopa's holding up his other knight unit, which honestly, Dread staring at that knight unit, he's going to charge that unit. The orcs are able to charge, I believe, the handgunner unit or the organ gun on the next turn, which is going to be a very long charge, but basically they have it. And then his knights that are coming at my war machines are going to get shot the hell up right now by war machines and those orcs with crossbows. And he's just like, you got it. Not only that, I was going to move Kabuto out of the forest and try to shoot the cannon shot, the redwood shaft, all the way down that whole unit. And he's just like, you got it in the bag, man. It's a big win for the Orcs and Goblins. It was a fun game. It's fun to play new opponents, too. I think that Joe brought up a different style of play that I'm not used to. And it also gave me some insight onto what to expect against Empire players. His general and his general's unit was pretty tough, I gotta admit. They punked the A-Rock without even like blinking an eye. If the A-Rock would have stuck, they would have had a harder time wounding him because the Beast Within would have been gone, and he didn't have the charge bonus anymore for the +2 strength. The Dread would have just destroyed his other knights and his wizard, and then he would have been able to overrun into the War Machine or the other guys, and it was him and Koopa would have just destroyed the rest of what's up there. And then Longshot would have either finished off the cannon or come help out over here with the knights. Either way, it was a fun game. MVP is King Koopa, man. I don't know how many times King Koopa or Chicken Head could get awards like this, man. The MVP award, he destroyed a whole flank by himself. A whole flank. Killed off like 3 or 4 units by himself. I think his engineer never rallied. His engineer ran off the table. And, yeah, that was just, I mean, Koopa killed 4 units by himself. He has some skirmishers left on that side, which we're never going to get to Longshot, because Longshot could just kind of go around them and shoot guys all day. The Forest Goblins did a phenomenal job. I honestly really wanted to give the MVP to the Forest Goblins, because I just saw them. If they would have took out that whole Swordman unit by the time he charged in and made him flee off the table, if they didn't have the Gleaming Pendant, I would have gave it to the Forest Goblins. They almost took out that whole unit by themselves. They did need backup towards the end once they got charged. The Orcs got in, helped them with the backup. The A-Rock and Dread just destroying that unit of Halberdiers was just awesome. The Squigs let me down this game, actually, that's a first, because the Squigs have been very deadly in every game, and I honestly thought that was the ideal matchup, was his horde of Halberdiers against my horde of Squigs, and my Squigs were attacking first. They would take out a good chunk of them. I didn't weaken that unit enough. I really needed to get off that web launcher, I needed to get off a miasma, and I need to get off some other stuff to make myself hit harder than him, more or less. As for deployment, I think I put my BSB on the wrong side. I put my A-Rock on the wrong side, but the A-Rock eventually paid off. I mean, you could see it in the video, I wasted a couple turns moving the A-Rock up, down, and then eventually charged in, and it was just opportunity versus planning It really was. Um, but the Git launchers misfiring as much as they did, and I lost the AROC's cannon, or not cannon, his web launcher in the first turn of the game because of the misfire dice. That thing is just I don't know what to do. I feel like just drawing my own dice and like making it so that way, like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, my characters did a really good job. My shamans didn't do too much. My orcs with crossbows, they only killed a few guys, but that's fine. They didn't really have a chance to. Those guys with the 1-up armor save were going to be ridiculous to deal with, but I still had both Git launchers. I think only one could shoot this turn, and I was really hoping for that magic to just either attempt to pit a shades them or get the redwood shaft off and kill off that unit staring at my war machines, and then use my orcs there to like hold a line before he charges my war machines. And besides that, Dread's a motherfucker. You know, he killed a good chunk of that unit of halberdiers. A-Rock helped him kill it. It was a fun game, guys. It really was nuts. Longshot killing the Peg Knight, that was awesome. That was a highlight of the game for me. Was just he just shot the crap out of him with that shotgun. And then the next game, I got another game against Jake Murphy and his Kingdom of Aquitaine army, and he's like, "What is that guy?" I said, "Longshot," and he goes, "What does he have?" I said, "He has a shotgun." And he looks at me, he's like, "What does he really have?" And then Joe answers, "He has a fucking shotgun." Oh man. So anyways, that's gonna be the next game coming up. Good job, Koopa, for destroying a whole half of an army by yourself, you fat bastard. It was a lot of fun playing Friday Night Dice, and I love to play. I would like to go more often on Friday nights, but I usually work on Friday. So this is, like I said, the last of my practice games. And the thing is, I got a lot of practice games because I played Dan and my brother and Red. And for Ocon, I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around this 2,400 point list for Ocon and 2,500 for Brawlers. And Brawlers, I was originally going to upgrade my level 2 Shaman to a level 3 Shaman or a level 4 Shaman and give him a backlash scroll. And I actually opted not to. I wanted to, and then I realized my character on a board is actually very vulnerable. Not only that, but I'm paying an extra 100-something points for that character, and I'm going to end up, if I want to take the backlash scroll and the upgrades, he jumps up to like 280 points, and that's a lot of points for the guy running around on the board to get shot down. Not only that, even though, yeah, I get like an extra spell or two, but not only that, bad magic phases could just mean that I will never get to use all the spells, or the good spells. B is the backlash scroll, best case scenario, kills one wizard and a chunk of his unit, but that's only one attempt. So I decided to actually beef up a little bit more on my other units and just take a rock lava. So I have a splatter coming in for an extra 2,500 for the extra 100 points for the 2,500, and I end up, I think, like one more squig or one more orc or something like that, some combination of that. Anyways, guys, if you have any comments or feedback about my list that I'm taking to Ocon, too bad. I already sent in my list. But yeah, if you guys have any comments or feedback, I would like to hear it. And then not only that, but like I was saying originally, it was fun to play Friday Night Dice and get some actual practice games against people who I don't normally play against, because this will give me an idea of how my list actually competes in a different setting. And not only that, but playing Empire and Kingdom of Aquitaine armies at Friday Night Dice gets me prepared for Ocon in case I do face off against Empire and Kingdom of Aquitaine. Now I do know what he has potential to bring, what's the punching power of those knights, and stuff like that. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It's getting around the 50-minute mark, and I am still rambling. I have to work out now. I have to also edit this video, and I have a shit ton of painting to do right before this Ocon. I have to finish off that unit of orcs. I have to base everybody who's not based that you can see in this video, and I have to make wound counters for the guys who need wound counters. And not only that, I still have to get a shit ton of stuff done because I'm going on vacation for like 10 days. So it's just so much to do, and I'm still working. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and if you haven't hit like and subscribe, hit it already. I don't know what you're waiting for. besides that, if you guys feel like I deserve a tip or anything, you can go to my YouTube channel, and I have a support button on the right side. You could always leave me a donation, and that would be greatly appreciated. Help me pay for some batteries or some money for my trip. But you don't have to. But anyways, it would be appreciated regardless. And yeah, I can't wait to show you guys the next video I got against Jake Murphy and his Kingdom of Aquitaine. So I'll be putting that up as soon as I can make it, probably Wednesday or Thursday, but no later than Thursday because I'll be gone to Ohio after Thursday. Anyways, guys, take care, peace, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.